Okay, second race of the day, Sunday, Harken number 1. The line is set for a wind direction of 245 degrees, so I'm going to take a wind check and see what it's actually at. I'm thinking the line's 5 to 10 degrees pin favored. We talked about a middle boat strategy with our whole group, and that was, I didn't take a look at the line. I said if they set the line square, which they usually do, middle boat and play the shifts is probably a good thing to do. I also said middle pin would be a good thing to do in that case too. The middle is risky because it's hard to tell how close you are to the line, and the boat end and the pin end are risky because they're the ends of the start line and they're going to be crowded with a lot of competition. So I wonder how many people on your team actually went and checked the start line a couple times for themselves after the sequence started. Alrighty, so I just did my own check of the line, check to see what ends favored. To check the wind direction, and the wind direction was 245, so the start line is perfectly square, if indeed that's the case. Liam, it looks like, went from the boat, and then he's reaching over the line all the way down to middle pin, so that'll be interesting to see how he gets off. So Blake just got called over early again. Blake is second time Blake's been over today. So Ryan started in the middle. Oliver once again is second, third row in the sag. Jake won the boat. It's probably a good idea. Jack got a good start, middle pin above the sag. So Ryan's that one boat in the middle of the line with a red life jacket, if you can see that. Can't tell whether or not Liam got off the line. I don't see him anywhere. Oliver's below and behind Ryan. Started in the middle. Like the riskiest place. He just tacked out. I gotta get out of the way of all these kids going right here. So it seems like Team Kallioclub is going with the right side strategy. Ryan's that boat still punched in the middle, so Ryan looks really good. I like where he is. It's probably time for him to start tacking. It's time for you to tack, Ryan. Good. Right on time. Perfect. Tack and cover, tack and cross, take those bounds. Okay, so Ryan's doing a beautiful job of good Marina Del Rey strategy. Okay, it's probability distributions and fleet management, right? Okay, when you can tack and cross and tack and cover, do it. Don't let people cross your bow. Don't ever let people cross your bow. Here, if they're crossing your bow, you tack to leeward of them and roll with it. It's like John's coming this way with the fleet, which is good, but I think he's kind of in bad air. Oliver is gonna salvage this one. I can see his bow poking out. He kind of got a good lane out of there. If he can play the shifts, he'll come up. Yeah, Ryan. Beautiful strategy. Perfect. Okay, so Team Kallioclub just gone for the bang the right strategy again. That's why they were all on the job from last race. I think they did the same thing then, but that type of strategy rarely works twice in a row here. Ryan's just owning the world right now. So that's what I mean. Let your start, let your boat speed win the race for you. As far as when to tack and fleet management, it should be pretty obvious. And for Ryan in this race, it was, right? Everybody to windward of him tacked and went right. He had good tack without taking any transoms and cross everybody, and that's exactly what he did. Okay. So now that this right group is tacking, he should probably kind of tack and cover. If you can cross them a little bit and take away their leverage and really cover them, that's good. Okay, so there he goes. He's tacking right now. Perfect, Ryan. Perfect. Really, really smart. Okay, and so now you head to the left and consolidate, cover the fleet, and take the leverage away from the guys on the left. Make sure you're helping them too. Okay, if you look at when you get caught up in this bang the one side of the course strategy, like these guys, you're gonna miss shifts. Okay, when you get caught up saying, "Oh, I'm gonna win the boat and go hard right," and that's gonna work, you're missing a lot of shifts on the way. Okay, you don't bang corners at this venue. play every 5 and 10 degree shift up the beat. Okay, so there's still a good chance. I mean, you never know. Wind could fill in a 10 degree righty could come. That wouldn't really surprise me. That would surprise me, actually. So Oliver ducked that first starboard group that came out of the middle right, and then he followed on their hip behind them. And he should have tacked to leeward of them, because now they've all tacked back onto port in the left phase, and now they're all crossing him again. I think Ryan's back on port, still hasn't taken a transom. Okay, so that's all you gotta do here. In the start, stay in phase with the leader. Stay in phase with the guys next to you. Cross people every time you can cross people. Okay, so Kieran's finished saying his prayers, and he's time to cut his losses, see where he's at. He's actually still looking really good. He's gonna be top 10. Maybe even, actually he's gonna cross everyone except for this first group of 3 or 4 boats that played every shift. So playing every shift is better than being a favorite corner at this venue. Shoot, he might even cross him. Yeah, I think yeah, this group's got him. So that's Jake just tacking now. That's Taft and Will Fuchs. Ryan is the leftmost boat in that group, and right now we're in right phase, so we might see him move back to 4th place here. So he should, if he's not crossing these guys, he should probably tack to leeward of them, which is exactly what he just did. So perfect, Ryan. Perfect fleet management. I don't know how Will Fuchs does it. He's a big kid to make an Opti go that fast in this type of condition. And it looks like the hard left guys actually look really, really good right now. So it might be a left phase filling in from the left side of the course. And yeah, look at the spread. Look how far the fleet is spread. It's super tricky. Super, super tricky. So that's why it's important to keep your eyes open, be conservative, and tack and cross when you can, and when people are going to cross you, tack to leeward of them and cruise with them. Ryan looks like he's just lost 5 boat lengths just off of boat speed, which is concerning and unusual. Okay, so there's Will tacking, probably because the guys who are hard left are looking good and crossing. So if 2 boats are on the same tack and are midshift hits, if they both stay on the same tack, the gain or the loss is not registered. Okay, the gain or the loss only accrues when one of them tacks. So what does that mean? That's why Will tacked there, okay? Because if he tacks onto port at the same tack as all the guys who are crossing him on the left, then he's not registering that loss until he tacks back to starboard and the wind stays left. And right now he's tacked back to starboard and the wind's in a right phase, because all the guys on the left you can see have tacked back to starboard. So that worked out really well for him. He played that shift good. This is Ryan winning out of the left side, I hope. So he was able to take the one righty that he did catch and take it over and cross the guys on the left. And now I think he's coming back in the left phase, crossing the guys to his right, as long as that's him. Pretty sure that's right. So a lot of boats here are going to get hung out to dry on the starboard ley line, okay? Most of the boats have made their way over to the right side of the course, and that's because we are in a left phase putting 90% of the fleet on port tack, okay? So when that happens, That's what's important about playing every shift and trying. Usually, when you play every shift, it takes you to the middle of the course, and when you're in the middle of the course, you have options. Okay, when you have options, when you hit the ley line, you have to attack right away, and if you're on a header, you got to ride out the header. So this is Ryan crossing Jake and tacking in front of him. I'm not sure actually who was ahead there. I think Ryan's ahead. They're both below ley line, so we got some shifts to go potentially. But I like what Ryan did there. He tacked to leeward of him instead of crossing or ducking or whatever it was, and then that's putting Ryan back into the center of the course. So if the wind goes right, he can keep going. If the wind goes left, he can tack. Okay, he's still got room to play shifts. When you're in the middle of the course, you got room to play shifts. Alright, so there's Ryan tacking, and it looks like he's got the cross. Okay, and then right away, as soon as he tacks, he's back to the middle of the course again, right? So the way he did that's going to make it very easy for him to call a good ley line. So here's Liam way out on the right. Okay, so Liam's gonna end up overstanding the mark on the ley line early with no options left. He should have try to work up the middle a little bit more. So that was kind of exactly the beat we were talking about. Perfectly square starting line with 5 to 10 degree oscillations, pretty much even back and forth. If you notice, Ryan's rounding the weather mark in first, pretty much went right up the center of the race course, started right in the middle of the start line and just hit every single shift, every single little shift. So very, very good to see him do that, because it's kind of a weak point for him, hitting small oscillations like that. We don't get those in Santa Barbara. So that was beautiful, beautiful first beat by Ryan. Okay, so you see, Will Fuchs is definitely not one of the faster guys, or he shouldn't be with his weight. He is still, because he's a really good sailor, and he's up here mainly because his strategy was on point more than his boat speed. He probably also hit every single shift. And the difference between him and Ryan right there is probably only boat speed. So here's Svenja, and Liam's directly behind her in her bad air because he got himself on the ley line too early. Oh, Liam really dove into her bad air. He's not even watching really, and he's got nowhere to go either. He can't tack. He's overstood the mark. They're still in the top. They're still right around 10th place, so they're still in good positions. Would have expected Oliver to be up here somewhere. Here he's coming up around 15. Okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's still 7 and 8 for Svenja and Liam. That's really good. Go downwind, Liam. Why are you still going upwind? You're around the mark. Where are you going? Look at Grant turn downwind, like inside of you. You just gave up 2 boat lengths because you weren't turning. Here's a little bit of a better race for John. John's been having some rough ones. I think his new J sail is gonna help a lot. Here's a Santa Cruz 37. Those are really cool boats. So if anyone wants to tip the coach, just buy me a Santa Cruz 37. So I can't quite tell from this perspective how far ahead Ryan is, but it looks like he's made some gains. He's the freaking downwind rocket ship, quite literally probably the fastest boat in this entire fleet, downwind on boat speed. So he gets around no top mark in first place. He's sitting pretty, looking good. Here's Liam going downwind with his main sheet too far out again, trying to do the Ryan style. The problem is Liam when Ryan has his main sheet that far out, he's by the lee, and then he trims his main sheet in and heads up when he gets leaned over too far, and it turns into a pump. Okay, so you're not by the lee right now. You just have your main sheet eased out way too far for no reason. You need to turn your boat left if you're gonna have your sail out that far. Dude, come on, trim in, Liam. What do you got going on? There's Svenja right in front of us too. Fighting with, she's got Grant chasing her down. So we're seeing really huge changes in the top of the fleet, right? We got Emma Tallman's up here. She hasn't been up here at all this regatta. We got, I don't see 20567 anywhere. I wonder if he got, oh, here he is. So he's like in around 10th place, 12th, 13th, 14th. Oliver is going right down the middle of the course. Okay, so I really like that. Okay, right down the middle, cutting out all the extra distance to the mark, clear air. No one behind him, okay, totally clear air. Yeah, Ryan's not too far ahead of Jake, but he's got a decent sized lead. Looks like he's kind of arced off to the left side of the downwind leg, maybe sailed a little bit of extra distance. He's planning to make a left turn, it looks like. So Jake, it looks like, could even be working his way over to the other mark, hoping to make a right turn. So that's why it's important to go straight down the middle of the run if you can, because then when you get to the bottom, you have the option to go to either mark. And if you're ahead, you want the guy who's behind you to round the same mark as you, so that you come out of the mark automatically covering him. Unless you're rounding the favored mark and he's rounding another unfavored one, in which case you tack around the mark and you're automatically covering him right away. So I think Jake's trying to really subtly sit on Ryan's breeze right now. He just jibed, and the only reason I could think he would have is to try to get on Ryan's wind. So Ryan's got to be careful here. Maybe I can't tell from here if he's on his breeze or not, but it's definitely something Ryan should be watching for. So Jake's off to the right of him. He looks like he's gaining though. I'm not really sure why. Hopefully the left-hand turn's favored. Looks good to me. Yeah, Ryan kind of looks like he's in a light spot where Jake is working the waves a little more, getting more out of him somehow. Or maybe he did get on Ryan's breeze a little bit. Yeah, they're closer than I thought. I think he did. I think Ryan just let Jake sit right on top of him. Wow, that was weird. That happened really fast. I don't know if Ryan got kelp or if that was all Jake sitting on his breeze. Okay, well that was weird. Jake's gonna try and cut behind him and get inside for the left turn gate. If Ryan plays strong defense right here, he can take advantage of that thing Jake just did and hold the lead Jake gave him, but I think he's letting Jake sit on him again. Can't quite tell. You better be off by the least and turning farther left than Jake, away from him. Getting clear air. Okay, so the gate's left turn gate doesn't look that great.